back about I guess it was in the '70s. I started playing around Charlottesville, Virginia, Lynchburg, Virginia, Waynesboro, all the way up to D.C., Manassas area, and I would play that area like Holiday Inns, Ramada Inns, Sheridan Inns, and circuits, and and I would just doing cover songs by everybody. Never had written a song or anything, and so and that kind of got me. I mean, I was making a living at it, but I was playing 6 nights a week, 4 hours a night before the Statler Brothers hired me, and I hadn't had a night off in about 10 years. I mean, hardly a night off. I had some time, but not a lot. But pretty much working every week anyway, and at least 6 days a week, 4 hours a night, and I had a night off. It was Thanksgiving 1981, and there was going to be a jam session at a place called Wintergreen, Virginia. It was a ski resort near my home, and some friends of mine called me up and said, "Hey, would you come up and jam with us?" And I'm like, "Well, sure. I ain't got nothing else to do." I mean, but the girl I was dating at the time didn't like that because she said, "You're going to go up there and play music. You got a night off," and I said, "Yeah, something just told me to go." And I'm glad I did because Lou DeWitt was there that night, and Lou was, of course, the tenor singer for the Statler Brothers. I did not know that he suffered from Crohn's disease, and at that time, and so I met him. I sang some songs that night, and he got up and sang. I sang with him some, and I just thought no more of it. I thought I'd probably never hear from him again. Well, right between Christmas and New Year's that year, I get a phone call from the Statler Brothers saying, "Hey, Lou had heard me sing." They got my number from one of the guys in the band that knew who I was, and they said Lou heard me sing and said he mentioned my name as someone who might be able to fill in for him. And so I went over and auditioned, which I'm writing a book right now about my life and all this story. It's a long story. There's a lot to it, believe me, of how it all took place. But long story short, I went over and auditioned. I was the first one to walk in and audition. And then I had to fly, a couple weeks later, I flew to Nashville to actually record with them because they had auditions in Nashville as well. And they wound up hiring me as temporary for about 6 months until Lou came back he came back in around July, and then he decided that he couldn't do it anymore, so he asked me to be a full-time member, and so that began 21 years with the Statler Brothers.